who's this character. This is Rowdy, and he's a problem child. He was adopted in a, I wouldn't say emergency situation, but kind of urgent. A family member had him and was unable to take care of him because he's got issues, but he's cute. And we have a house full of children. So we have some worker bees who can help him out. Although, of course, it's the parents that end up doing most of the work with the dog. This isn't what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. I am back from the faraway Asian country. I'm jet lagged, but it was cool because I got to practice theology and teach theology to students who really need it, who have no access otherwise. So that was exciting. I did manage to finish all the grading, and I just want to give you some pro tips, as it were. Everybody did pretty good. I want to demystify the A, okay? I wish I didn't have to give grades. Wouldn't it be awesome if the whole thing was pass fail? But in a world in which you have to get grades, someone has to give those grades, and there has to be reasons. My reasoning for the grades, very simply, are the assignment instructions and the rubric. And then, so if you can stick as close to those, if you want to do well, you'll do well. Also, say a few more things in that regard. So, I'm not expecting everybody to get A's. I came of age in a world where perfectionism was rewarded. And I think the perfectionism sometimes is mentally torturous and not great for our health. So if you follow the assignment instructions and maybe make a mistake here and there, you're probably going to get a B. C is like, you passed. You didn't follow all the instructions, but you passed. D is like, well, you're kind of hanging by a thread, but I'll pass you. There's a lot of things that were missed. An A is like, okay, you wowed me. And I have to be able to distinguish between the students who are working the hardest and those who are just getting by and those who, aren't working quite as hard. We're all in different places, C's get degrees. So you're not going to hurt my feelings. I don't think you're a bad person if you're rushed and you just have to knock something out. I understand. But there are students who want to go on for master's degrees or maybe doctorates and who have that ability, and they kind of have to get A's, and I want to demystify, how to do that. So, follow the rubric, follow the assignment instructions. Also, using the textbook and scripture and cite it appropriately with a formal citation that's accurate, that prepares you for academic work. I hope you all can track what I'm about to say. Northwest likes to use MLA format on certain classes. In theology, Chicago Turabian is the norm. Most people use MLA, which is in text, parentheses. Just make sure you're accurate with that. Print yourself up a little cheat sheet, put it next to your computer. You don't have to put PG before the page number, and you do have to add publication year and all that stuff. So if you're going to use a citation, be accurate. When you cite scripture, scripture is a little bit, it's kind of like it's not like another book. It's kind of like common use, fair use in when you write in theology. So you don't have to tell me the publication year of the Bible version. You do have to just quote the scripture and then put the reference. Luke 24:17 or whatever. But whenever you quote scripture, you do have to tell me the version you quoted in parentheses and just the 3-letter code: NIV, ESV, NLT, blah, 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 blah. So if you use the textbook and scripture in all aspects of the task, and that's also true of discussion. So in discussion, the main post and the interaction post, if you can follow the rubric, follow the assignment instructions, which includes things like headings on papers, your names, blah, blah, blah. Accurate, spell check, grammar check, proofread, blah, blah, blah. Citing scripture and the textbook. I mean, that's a lot of extra effort, isn't it? And those are the A papers, and they kind of wow me, all right? But no shame in a B or a C. I just want to demystify that. Okay, did you know when you proof, you can use a read aloud function in Microsoft Word? I think most people are using Word, and if you read your work back to you, you will have really good help editing your paper and clarifying your writing. So the read aloud feature will catch things that your eyes will not catch. So I think in particular for longer papers, it's very helpful. And then yeah, just remember things like paragraphs, like indenting. You're writing in college, not like a text message. So things like to be honest or to be fair or honestly, like useless, eliminate. It's time to grow up in our writing and our speaking for that matter. They just don't help anything. So, yeah, okay. I think that's it. I wanted to just give you some feedback and thank you for your work. And I look forward to reading more. Okay? Take care. God bless. Bye bye.